Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Two Girls and a Cat. This is episode
9.
Our episode 9, and it's Two Girls and a Cat. Two girls talk Game of Thrones. I'm so excited because it's episode 9 and 10.
It is.
And it's
The finales of the sixth season.
which has been absolutely fantastic. So as always, I'm Sam and
I'm Carolyn.
And we're just going to get into it because this is two big episodes to talk about.
There's so much to say.
Yeah, quite a lot, and we've just watched the last episode again and had to keep stopping ourselves from talking. So we're going to get on with it now. Right, episode 9, Battle of the Bastards.
Arguably the best episode of this season.
Do you reckon?
Or one of the best of the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like epic, like Lord of the Rings style.
Probably better than Lord of
Battle.
the Rings, mate. It was so good. What did the episode start off with?
Well,
Arguably the best episode ever.
Well, it is.
I love how you had to remind yourself.
Yeah, I did. I had to think about it. I mean, obviously, the wole theme of this is Ramsay versus John, and it's Winterfell's at stake.
I think there's a lot more than Winterfell. I mean, there's John's perspective. It's
Well,
not just Winterfell. It's Rickon as
it's
well.
It's the family. It's the Stark name.
Yeah, I think John's target is Rickon. Sansa's is the bigger picture, and that happens just before the end battle, doesn't it? So if we not do Ramsay and John's story, what else happened in that episode?
Well, you see Yara Greyjoy and Daenerys meet.
Aye, for the first.
A little bit of flirty action going on.
There was a little bit of tete-a-tete going on there because she was saying it was like, oh well, your dad was the Mad King, and it's like, well, how are you?
Who's your dad?
Yeah.
Come on.
Pot calling kettle over there, missus. The pair of them were having like a bit of a go with each other, but then it kind of got
like a jolly spa.
Yeah, and I love the way that Daenerys was like, "There's no raping, pillaging, or anything along those lines." And it's like, "Well, that's our way of life." It's getting no more.
It's not my way.
No, but they do the joint forces. They do that handshake, that epic handshake, and they join. I mean. She looks at Theon first and's like, so you coming here to claim the throne? And he's like, no, she is.
Yeah.
And he totally had his sister's back on that one.
Yeah.
What else happened? So if Daenerys met Marine. Was this in this episode?
Yeah, you see Daenerys on the back of Drogon.
Yeah, that's right. So that's right. Marine's been overrun, and the head of, I don't know who they are, the head of the slaves, the slavers, they come and they basically say to Daenerys, right? Well, it's not Daenerys, is it? It was, what's his name? The military guy.
Yeah, and her.
Missandei, and Tyrion are standing there. Grey Worm.
Yes.
That's it. And they say basically, your city's done.
We're here to negotiate your surrender.
Yeah.
And she says, no, we're here to negotiate your surrender.
And then the dragons come in, shit hits the fan, and as they realise that they're losing, Grey Worm's like, right, one of you's have got to die.
Yeah.
Basically. And as the other two push the middle one forward, he slits the two throats who were begging for their lives and leaves that one guy, and Tyrion's like, you go and you tell them what's just happened here.
Yeah.
And we're not, we were not
going to roll over.
Yeah, not at all. And she basically takes Marine back with her baby dragons, because not just Drogon, but the other two get released.
Yeah.
So all three of them are out.
Yeah.
And Marine's been basically taken over by Daenerys.
Yeah.
So Daenerys' dragons are up. Like, because I didn't know that you had to turn the page.
Yeah. So really, from there on, it was just all about. Some of those notes are mine. Don't worry.
Right. Either Carolyn wrote the notes when we were doing the when I was watching the last episode, and I've just read one of her things, and I went, what? Really?
I'll explain.
Okay.
Wait for it.
All right. Okay.
So the rest of the episode is what's going to happen. It's Ramsay versus John.
Yeah, this is the big one. This is it, isn't it? And the meet up, and basically John says doesn't have to be a war, because John knows he's outnumbered.
He knows, but it's like, well, I've got to do something.
Yeah, and he offers him out. He says like, "Oh wait, mate, just me and you.
1-1.
Let's do it now, and we'll end it now." And Ramsay's like, He knows he can't beat him one-on-one.
Because he knows how good John is.
And he knows he's got the men to beat them. Yeah. He knows that they're outnumbered.
She's like, why would I even risk doing that? I'm going to win.
Mate.
I'm going to win if it's just me against my army against your army. Yeah. I've won.
So Ramsay backs off from the fight, knowing fine well he's not really backing off from the fight. He's got the men. John doesn't. He knows he really doesn't have to do much.
Yeah.
Apart from stand on the sidelines and watch John and his men burn, basically.
And he says to Rickon, "I'll let you go. Run to your brother."
Well, that's later on, isn't it? That's before the battle.
When it's like the preempt to him riding out part way.
Yeah, but before that the first meeting is them two when you've got Sansa says to Sansa says to Ramsay, "You're gonna die tonight. You're gonna die tomorrow, Lord Bolton." And he's like, "No, I'm not, bitch." And then that's when her and John have their argument because she's like, nobody's listening to us. Ramsay has this one. He's gonna kill yous, and he's gonna kill Rickon. And John's like, "Oh my God, how could you say that?" And she's like, "Well, because that's how he works."
Yeah.
Rickon was dead the minute he was put into Ramsay's hands. There is we need to let go of that. Yes, we need to not let that emotion drive us because Rickon is never coming back. And she tries to put her 2 cents forward and he just dismisses that just like everyone else has.
Because John still acts on his emotions.
Yeah. Yeah.
She thinks with her head and he thinks with his heart.
Yeah. In that moment it felt like it, like she was he was acting a bit like the I don't really want to say this, but like the girl side of things. Like
she's the better ruler. At this point in time, she's showing better traits. She's her mother's daughter, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. I agree with that. She did really put John in his place, but it didn't stop him from doing what he did next, which is when they meet on the field, and that's when he says, "Rickon, go and get him. Go and meet John." Why he didn't zigzag?
Well, the first thing I said, don't run in a straight line.
Why didn't you zigzag?
Yeah.
You could have just whoosh. But no. But Ramsay tormented him because he knew exactly what he was doing. Dead-faced Rickon.
Dead-faced Rickon now.
I was quite... that episode was... I wish we had a video camera just on us because it was one of the... I think our reactions were probably more funnier than it was the actual, like, the whole episode.
Yeah.
Because I think we started here... And with the closer, we
got closer and closer to the TV, like, oh my God,
this is amazing! And it really was, but the end battle scene was just visually one of the most beautiful things.
You see John almost being crushed to death, really.
Well, you see Ramsay's strategy, he's getting the front men out of the way with, and all the rest of them, along with the big giant...
1-1.
Well done. They circle them. And they get them in that circle, and that's their tactic. They're just going to take them out from that way. And John, in the midst of it, you see him, and you're in it with him.
Like like he's losing his breath because he just can't.
And your anxiety's up here because you try, like you're with him in it because you're not looking at anything else but John's reaction. And it was that was absolutely breathtaking. But then all of a sudden, Sansa non-dumbface.
Yeah, because episode 8. You see her sailing, doesn't she? She sends a letter. She sends a message.
She does.
To none other than who we didn't think. We thought somebody's got to come here and help. And we didn't even think, did we?
What did we were saying? Because I remember going, Carolyn, someone's coming. There's someone coming. I tell you what's going to happen, Carolyn. These men, these Karstarks, all these people, they're going to turn round and they're going to fight against Ramsay. And then, no, the Knights of the Vale come in. But we
didn't even think of it.
That's all we were thinking of. Someone has to come in. This has been the series of something big's happened, something's come in.
Who's returned?
Who has returned to the
now?
Game of Thrones? And it was the Lords of the Lords of the Vale came in and basically cleaned house. And Ramsay does a runner, and John on foot, goosed, runs after him along with what's the ginger haired guy called?
Brienne's fella.
Aye. I thought he was going to die.
But he can't die.
He can't.
Him and Brienne have got to rekindle their romance.
Did you notice she hasn't been in it?
Yeah.
I was gutted.
What's happening with her?
She's in the river with Pod. She'll be there forever if it anything Gendry to go by. We'll not see her until the last
I bet we see her episode 1, season 7, still in that bloody
still
boat.
in that boat, and then Gendry passes her. So you've got her on one side and Gendry going on the other.
Game of Thrones will be finished and Brienne will just rock up at the end.
What's going on?
I thought there was a fight somewhere.
But he chases after him, and the giant, is it a giant or he's a giant? Isn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Him, the giant, and
he's bloody massive.
He is huge, and he's taken 100 arrows at this point, and he's just like, you thought Sean Bean.
It's like fly bites.
You thought Sean Bean was hard in Lord.
When he got his head taken off, he wasn't so hard.
Lord of the Rings, or 3 arrows.
Oh yeah, when he was Boromir.
Yeah, but this guy just took hundreds, and they get the what were they saying online? Hodor may have held the door, but this hero broke the door.
Yes.
And he smashed the door into Winterfell, and that's when Ramsay gets some balls about him. Like, hey, come on, I'll fight you 1-on-1. So Jon just beats the ever-living shit out of him.
Well, he deserves it all.
Before that, the giant gets taken down, doesn't he, with the arrow?
He does.
Straight in the eye. I love how I'm doing all these hand
I know.
thingies and no one
I wish
can see
someone
us.
could see this. Yeah. It's a shame no one sees these things.
Oh.
But
It really isn't.
I get to see them. I'm taking one for the team.
Thank you.
So it's alright. So yeah, basically Ramsay's half dead by the time Jon's finished pummeling his face in.
Carolyn, I've just read your note there. 1-1 deed. Sad face.
Sad face.
Oh.
So Ramsay gets slung in the slammer.
Well, Jon's
beating the hell
out of him, and then he looks up and Sansa's there, and he realizes this isn't
This
my
is her kill.
This is yours. You can do whatever you want with him now.
Yeah.
And she, oh my God, does she?
Well, yeah, but this is part of something I thought.
Okay.
Right, so he's in the slammer. Mm-hmm. She's standing because he's in there with, obviously about to die.
Yeah.
And she's basically gone to gloat because he deserves it. And he says to her, "I am now part of you."
Oh, right. That's what the note that caught me eye.
But does that mean that Sansa is pregnant?
How would he know?
Because he's Ramsay and he thinks everything that he touches
turns into a baby.
He thinks he's got magic tadpoles. Ramsay and his magic tadpoles.
It makes it. It's a good theory, because like
back in those days, just a man looked at a woman and she got pregnant.
Look how many kids Catelyn Stark had.
Well, yeah. Catelyn Stark was produced them every other week. Yeah. There's about 50 Starks. We just don't even know about it. There's an army.
It makes it. No, I didn't even pick up on that. But would I? There was so much going on. Ramsay was in that dog pen. You knew he made a point of saying, "Me dogs haven't been fed for 7 days."
And he said they won't kill me. And she says, "Well, they haven't been fed for a week." So
yeah, you said yourself, mate, and face straight off.
The end of Ramsay.
Ramsay Bolton is dead. One of the best bad guys in Game of Thrones thus far. Yeah, because he was I know
you hated him.
Oh my God, did you hate him? But what you knew he was going to get his upcomings at one point. You knew something was bad was going to happen to him, and it was. I said to you, if they cut his head off, remember that's a
shame.
That's a damn shame on a really good character, because that doesn't give it justice for what he did.
That leads nicely in episode 10, the final of season 6. Because there was quite a few deaths in this.
Then this is really fresh off our minds, because I watched it the Monday, because obviously I couldn't not watch it. The internet would have ruined it for us anyway. So I watched it as soon as I got home. The only one episode I've not watched with Carolyn. Yeah, it was. But I made her watch it when she got home.
But we had a. Sam texted me and was like, "You must watch this."
I wish I could read the text message back to you, because it was something along the lines of, "Carolyn, I'm shaking. You've got to watch this.
I don't care what time it is. Text me when you've watched it and tell me what you think." I was like watching it. It's like 11 o'clock at night.
And the sad part of it is, I don't work on a Tuesday and Carolyn does.
I know.
Poor thing. She had to watch it though. You would have had it ruined.
I know, because I was thinking, I'll watch it like tomorrow or something, and I thought,
We thought we were going to get away with it until this Saturday.
Yeah.
We would never have gotten away with it until this Saturday.
My poor fella had to sit and watch it with me.
Even
though he doesn't watch, he does know. He doesn't.
Yeah, but the best part about Game of Thrones with your fella was when he walked in and had the cushion up against my face, and he's like, "What have I just walked into here? What was going on there? Who died?"
Oh,
And I said it was something I was fine not seeing. I was actually okay with not seeing Ramsay getting his face bit off either. I had my head in the cushion.
I think it was something fairly.
It was fairly
severe.
It was fairly brutal.
Yeah, and you were like hiding behind.
I was. I tell you what it was. It was the baby. It was when
yes.
Ramsay and the baby.
Yes.
Yeah, and I couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I'm all right with not seeing that. But this episode was. Well, the last episode, sorry, was just truly beautiful.
Yeah.
If you're matching it up, I mean, I know Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb have like put it this and the Watchers in the Night as the top two. Like it's getting like nearly 100%, 10 out of 10 kind of thing. Yeah. I completely agree. I'm not guaranteeing that while we talk about this last episode, I'm not going to cry.
Okay.
I can't guarantee that.
Right. Okay.
Because it was very emotional. Very. So we start off with...
Well, Cersei, you see, you think she's getting ready for a trial. Because her and Loras have got the trial in the High Sept.
Yeah. So you see the main players getting ready. You've got Marjorie getting ready. You've got the High Sparrow getting ready. You've got Cersei, Tommen, all
Loras
of them.
is in his cell, looking all pathetic.
The music that they used in this whole episode was beautiful.
And it's so quiet. Mm-hmm. It's really quiet. You can even hear the crowd chattering as they go into the High Sept.
But it's still so
soft,
powerful as
but
well.
Powerful, yeah.
Yeah, it really was. And they're all getting ready, and Cersei, I pointed this out to Carolyn earlier, always wore red. She always had red and gold. She always stayed true to her house colours. It seemed very odd that she wore black.
Yeah.
When you obviously not knowing what's going to happen, but she wore black when if this is Cersei Lannister, she is Lannister pride.
Yeah.
Like she would have wore red and gold. So something's gone in Cersei's head.
Well, maybe we can get to that.
Yeah.
I don't want to get to that just yet before we actually go through the episode. But maybe there's a reason she wears black.
Like a Star Trek villain.
Like a Star Trek villain with her hair.
She looked like the best Star Trek villain.
And her really pointy eyebrows, which are freaking me out.
I can't talk on eyebrows, so...
It's the whole...
What, because she hasn't got a hairstylist in Westeros?
She should, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So they're all getting ready, and they all meet in, is it the High
Sept?
High Sept. Very beautiful room.
Yeah.
All lords, ladies, people of the court.
Yeah.
Mace Tyrell is there. Marjorie Tyrell rocks up.
Still pretending to be.
Is she? That's the thing. We don't know if she's still pretending. We never found.
Well, when you see Loras obviously having to admit all the things that he did, and which obviously you were saying when we watched it tonight, and he's obviously had to admit that he's had like homosexual relationships, and obviously with Renly, who, as you said, he absolutely loved Renly, didn't he?
He did. He loved Renly, and I think Renly loved him back, and it was because he got really jealous of. He didn't get jealous of his sister. He was fine with that.
It was the relationship that he was allowed to have.
It was Brienne. Can you remember? Because Brienne loved Renly. Yeah. She was madly in love because Jaime kept calling her out on it.
But that was okay.
Yeah.
Because she was a woman in that society, that was okay.
Yeah, but Jaime used to mock Brienne about her love for Renly.
Yeah.
So they're all in there, and Loras starts talking about his what he's done wrong, all these bad deeds, and the High Sparrow is like, right, well, the mother forgives, and we'll forgive you, but you've got to give up everything.
You'll never have kids.
Can't have kids. Can't marry. Got to your titles and
lands, everything.
Reigns to like the High Garden is all gone, and he'll be like Lancel Lannister, and live with them as a faith militant, and he carves him, doesn't he? He mutilates him
with the promise that they wouldn't.
Yeah, well, he kind of says.
That's when you see Marjorie react because his dad sort of like shouts out.
Yeah, because it's his son, it's his heir.
And she says it's
okay, father.
So she's still trying to put a front on.
Yeah, but then. So while this is all going on, Tommen's he's in his room, isn't he? He's all dressed. He's got wearing his crown, his matching crown like he had with Marjorie had the same crown on.
Yeah.
And he was in his room, and first off, he just doesn't respond to the guy who comes to get him, and then secondly, the next knock, she's on the mic, and the next knock, he goes, all right, okay, I'm ready, and it's the big guy, isn't it? The mountain standing there, and he's like, no, you're not going through there. I'd imagine that's how he would talk.
Yeah, if he had a voice, that would be it.
Not going through there.
Would it be like Mr. T?
Hey, fool! Probably. That's how I imagine it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he stops him from going out, and oh wait, man, I've just watched this. Oh, that's it. Marjorie clicks and says, "Cersei knows the consequences
of not
being here.
Yeah.
So why is she not here? She knows there's a reason she's not in this room.
She's not going to just let this go.
We're fucked. We need to leave." And he says, "Believe in the gods." And she went, "To hell with your gods." And that was that was one indication for me, like she did have something planned. And then while this is happening, while they're figuring out that, because there is a bit of a gap between him saying, you know, you're not going anywhere, and Marjorie's trying to get people out and get her dad out and Loras out.
Yeah.
Grandmeister Pycelle is being took out of his chambers and taken down with the other Grandmeister, who's been working with Cersei, and he is murdered, thank Christ, by the little birds.
Yeah.
And while that's happening, Lancel is being told to go and get Cersei.
Yeah.
And he spots a little bird and runs after it, runs under the keep to find Mad Aries' old stash of wildfire and a candle that's on a timer.
Couple of
candles on a timer, and then gets stabbed in the side.
Mm-hmm. And he can't get away, and he thinks, well, I'm going to have to try and blow these out.
Yep. And Lancel, I honestly thought he was going to get there.
I know.
I was like, well, she's not gonna blow them all up. She fucking did blow them all up.
She didn't care.
Jesus, that woman is full of wildfire. Yeah, she burnt the bitch to the ground.
Yeah.
With everyone inside.
Yeah.
Marjorie. So that's 2 generations, or would you class them as 3 generations? Mason's 2 children.
Yeah.
Gone.
2.
Yeah. The heirs of Highgarden gone. You know, the Lord of Highgarden gone. And how many lords and ladies and houses would have been in that court that Cersei is now taken out? And that scene was beautiful when the wildfire, they came up and through the middle bit, and he was just standing in it.
He was the first one to get it, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then it just spread out. Yeah. It was green is one of my favourite colours, and that was just, oh my god.
But we were saying before about, like, you know, Ramsay, and wouldn't have been disappointing if he had his head chopped off or something. Kind of underwhelmed by Marjorie's death.
Kind of didn't want it to happen.
I think if she was going to always die, she deserves something a little better than that.
I wanted to see her succeed. She was so smart where she was very good at getting what she wanted and not being too bad about it.
Well, she played the wrong game.
She did.
Didn't she?
She was playing her own.
She's playing her own, you know, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
She's played the wrong game.
Yeah, I agree. And it cost her her life. And I'm gutted because Marjorie was a really good character. It's a shame that she's gone. Lancel, I mean.
Whatever, Lancel. Bothered.
None whatsoever.
Bothered that you're gone.
But it's devastating that Marjorie's gone. Yeah. And we'll never know what her plan was.
Yeah.
We'll never know that what she... Because she had to have. She gave her grandmother that rose, and that was that on that paper, and that was enough for us to think, yeah, she's got something.
She's got something up her sleeve.
Yeah, she has to. Otherwise, she would never... Her grandmother was the only person she probably trusted.
Yeah. In
the whole world.
Yeah, 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 definitely.
So
and then obviously from then you see Tommen.
God, yeah,
finds out, well, he sees it and he thinks, right then.
No, right, well, that's me done. Mum's a Madden. My wife's dead. Everything's gone to shit.
I've got no brothers and sisters left.
I don't think he cared.
Well, he was. It's
I
like,
think
you
Marcella,
know,
he did.
my life has fallen around my ears, basically.
And I'm the king, and I've allowed all of this to happen. So,
and there was nothing I could do because my mother
is
rules me.
Madder than a bag of crabs.
Yeah.
Is it a bag of crabs? Cat full of... No, fuck it.
Box of frogs, love.
Thanks. I've been at work for 10 hours. That's my excuse.
So he just carefully removes the crown, and you just we were saying, weren't we, the shot of
it's so intense. It's so different for Game of Thrones because it's straight on.
Yeah.
You don't move. You're not looking anywhere but out that window and through that smoke, and it's, for me, it was really intense.
Yeah.
And just to hear his footsteps come from
behind the shot.
And then he just you knew what he was going to do, but just to see him do it, and the way he just, with ease, there was no hesitation. He didn't
fell.
He just straight down, and that was so intense, but so understandable because he was buggered.
Oh yeah,
he was absolutely. His next game plan was buggered, and then Cersei, Queen of the Maddens, grabs hold of Shame Nurse.
Yeah.
I want to call her a nurse. She's not a nurse. She's like a nun.
She's the torture nun.
Aye, and she gets a hold of her. And I was actually, when she got her, I was like, yeah, you deserve
that,
this.
didn't she?
Yeah, you deserve this.
Death at the hands of the mountain.
Oh, yes.
Slow and painful.
And Cersei shouting, shame, shame. Confess. I'd be like, shut up, bitch.
It's kind of like Monty Python-esque, that I quite find.
Wasn't it?
You know, it's kind of like, you know, the Spanish Inquisition sketch from Monty Python.
Yeah. I get that.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. But Cersei, then you see her, obviously she's already dressed to go and have a coronation.
She knew what she was doing.
She's almost military-like in the way she does it.
Yeah.
She's got the black dress on with like the metallic sort of shoulder pads
linked together. The dress is super. I'd wear it
round the house,
doing the hoovering, do the dishes, take the rubbish down,
chilling out.
I've got to go outside, everyone sees me in my street, I don't be ashamed. Christ, I've gone out and worse before.
And then, well, this is what I was just about to say before. I didn't want to spoil the whole Tom and chat, but is she wearing black because
she
knows all of her children are dead?
Yeah. Well,
that's a little bit of an acknowledgement to the fact that she is still a mother.
Yeah.
And she's not. Well, when she then wants to see Tommen, she wants to see him.
Do you not think it's just clarification he is gone and that he's out of our way? I think she was really cold in that. I think she was really cold in that scene. But
it was closure, wasn't it? It was total closure.
Because she's starting to see the prophecy come true.
She thinks, right, come on then.
Just get him out the way with, and let's move on. Let's see which bloody, because she thinks she's taken, because the prophecy was by Maggie the Frog that her children would wear shrouds of gold. She would be a queen. Her children would be kings and queens, but they would all die before her. Mm-hmm. A young queen would try and take her down. She thinks that was Marjorie. Mm-hmm. She's gone. Mm-hmm. And her younger brother will strangle her in her sleep. Mm-hmm.
So she's ready to take Jaime down if needs be.
I still believe that she thinks it's Tyrion. I don't think she thinks that Jaime is capable of that or would do that. Because you've got to think, since day dot, since she had the boobs, she has done nothing but manipulate Jaime. She has made every step Jaime has done is because of her. Mm-hmm. She's very, very manipulative. You can go back to if you're going through TV, Bran is out of that window because of Cersei.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
So I think she thinks it's. I think she's that stupid. She thinks it's Tyrion, but
it's not.
I think it's Jaime.
Yeah.
And the look at the end sealed the deal for me.
Yeah.
But we're going too far ahead. Too far ahead.
And then
where we're up to
next, you see.
Bran.
Bran goes back into his hole.
This scene made me, not that scene. The scene where Brandon Stark leaves Bran on the side of the road with
Benjen,
Mira.
yeah.
Benjen, that's it. Benjen leaves Bran on the side of the road and it's like, right, kids, I'm off. See you later.
I'll just dump you here.
And poor Mira's like, how's she gonna like carry Bran around and he's just stuck there.
He's just left.
He's just left. But he does walk into is it the Weirwood tree?
Yeah.
Yeah. He walks into the Weirwood tree and he wants to finish his vision.
Yeah.
Because as he said, he is the three-eyed raven.
He is the three-eyed
So
raven.
he wants to finish his vision, and this, I think every Game of Thrones fan around the world just went, fucking yes. This is the clarification we've been looking for, because this theory has been going on since I can remember. Sorry, Portia's winding Carolyn up.
She's.
Where is she? I've never known I get down there. Oh.
Get up there.
Portia's gone behind the back of the couch. Is she alright? She won't get stuck.
She's being a little sod.
Hey, hey Portia.
So so you see Bran go to finish the vision, and he sees Ned going up the steps to the tower, and you hear Lyanna screaming. And she's given birth quite horribly.
He thinks she's been stabbed. You know, like you kind of
blood everywhere.
There's blood everywhere, so he's kind of looking for the mark, and she's like, "No, dearest Ned." And
there it is.
You know, but she says she brings him in close, and she says, she does the whole "promise me, Ned," and which is her last words to him, and it's "promise me," and she leans him in and she says, "You know." Like he's seen a glimpse of the baby, and he's like, "You know, we haven't though as an audience member, we haven't seen it."
She's telling him who the father is, but we don't hear it.
We don't hear that, but she says, "You know, Robert will kill him. Mm-hmm. You need to take him. Promise me, Ned. Promise me." Mm-hmm. And that's when he's bawling like a baby, and he holds the baby in his hands, and as the eyes open, it's on Jon Snow's real face. Back. Oh my god! R versus
Lovely
R
Jon
plus L equals J. It's one of the biggest fan theories, and they actually confirmed it. Mm-hmm. So, is he the Song of Ice and Fire? Is he the prince that was promised?
Yeah, I think he is.
Fire and blood and ice gonna mash together? What does this mean? How will he find out?
How will it all finish?
It's so exciting. That part made me. I couldn't cry because I kind of knew.
Yeah.
So I knew the minute we went in there that what was going to happen, but I was so, oh my gosh, and I had no one to talk to. I had headphones in and nobody to talk to, and I was like, motherfucker.
So we now basically know, you know, spoiler, not spoiler, that Jon is a Stark and he's a Targaryen.
Legit. Now, I heard this online the other day, and I can't think of where I heard it from, so I'm sorry if I don't credit the person who said it, but what happens if Jon started his own house? He's the King of the North now. What happens if he started House Snow?
House Snow? Yeah.
I'd be part of House Snow.
Yeah, why not?
White Direwolf
is his
White Direwolf is his sigil, and that'd be pretty awesome. I really can't remember where I heard that from, so I'm very sorry, but
it might happen yet.
I like the idea of that, but you are right. He is a legit Stark. He is, so that whole scene later on means Sansa, even more.
With Sansa when she says, basically, who wants Mum and Dad's room?
Yeah.
Now we're back at Winterfell, and he says, you should have it because I'm not a Stark, and she says, you are to me.
And we're all going,
you are
yes,
a Stark.
you are a Stark, mate. You are one of them.
A proper Stark.
Yep. You are cousins with that girl. Oh, I can't wait for him to find out, but I don't want like Bran to like come running up to Winterfell and going, "Hey guys, guess what?"
Jon's got it. Well, Jon had a daddy and he had a mummy.
Yeah, I'm one of these people who if I hear somebody talking about something and I know about it, I want to get in the conversation and I want to tell you what I know because I'm going to know more than what you do. And this is probably the reason why I've started this we started this podcast, because it's just I have stopped doing it now since we started doing this.
Sam was about to explode with information.
Oh, I really am. But I'm one of these, I'm like, I know everything and I'm going to tell you everything. And you're going to love all my knowledge. And I don't want Bran to go in and do the same thing. I want him to find out.
We don't want Bran to be Sam. Is what we're saying. I'm going to start calling you Bran from now on.
Oh, I've been called worse.
But, I mean, so talking of what's going on with Jon Snow, obviously we then see Sir Davos and Melisandre
Christ,
have that exchange.
Well, Davos has found out that Melisandre, now he blames her solely for the death of Shireen.
Yeah.
No, it's not a case of you talked you talked a broken man into thinking that he was a king, and this is the way this is how to do it, is by killing your child.
Yeah.
His wife was clearly a broken woman. She was she was off a rocker.
Yeah, yeah.
And you've manipulated and you've getting into the heads of these people, and look what you've made them do. He just solely blamed her.
You say, that girl was good,
and her reasoning was pitiful. Like, the horses were dying and the
there was
men
nothing
were
left,
and we needed to. Well, you burn some wood then. Like, the way you were making it sound is that we needed to burn this child because we were cold. That's what it came across as. She didn't explain that the sacrifice of this child would have meant X, Y, Z. She just went.
If she hadn't sacrificed Shireen, Jon wouldn't have come back.
Touche. She didn't go into that detail. She just made it sound like, well, the horses were getting cold and we were getting cold, so therefore I thought it was a good idea to burn a kid, which was one of the most uncomfortable scenes in Game of Thrones.
And Jon listens to Sir Davos and he basically says, get out.
On your bike and ride.
And let me never see you here again.
Yeah. All right. He's
Don't darken my doorstep ever.
Yeah, he's kind of like, you know how we were saying earlier that Jon was with his heart. After this battle, it's like, thinking with his brain now.
Yeah.
Get out my fucking castle.
Yeah, he's going to have to start.
He's going to. And he needs Davos, like, how weird that man is, like, he didn't owe him anything, and he's been on his side.
But he needs Melisandre.
He doesn't realise that,
and he's just got rid of her.
He did. However, you've got to think that she's heading off now. Is she going to meet up with the Brotherhood without banners? Is she going to meet with, because they're her kin, they're part of her religion. Is she going to meet with them and forget what they say and say, right, we need to go this way? Could be. She could join forces with them, or they were quite distasteful of her as well when they met up with her.
Will she meet with Catelyn Stark as per?
I think that boat has sailed now.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think that.
Do you not think?
I don't know, because do you know what? Actually, I don't want to jump too far ahead. No, I'm going to jump too far ahead. Jaime at the end. Now, that look he gives Cersei.
Yeah.
Now, Jaime in the books doesn't like Cersei.
Yeah. This is a good reason why not. No.
I don't. It's obviously not for that reason. It was for something else, and I don't know. I am actually reading the books now. FYI. Thank you to a friend who gave me them, because I only had the first one and the second one. But from what I remember, they didn't like each other, and he'd gone off with Brienne. Brienne meets with Catelyn Tully or Stark, Catelyn Stark, who was Lady Stoneheart.
Yeah.
And she's vengeful. She's not the same cat that we know, and she is got Jaime and Brienne on trial. So that would, if Jaime's falling out with Cersei and he's going to go, that could lead into that bit. It could tie there, but
I think it's going to happen.
I don't know. I'm not really bothered anymore. Like, if she came back when, like, just shortly after the Red Wedding.
Do you feel like enough people have come back to kind of justify the other things that then happen?
Yeah.
Because let's get into the end, and really how it finishes off is in terms of. So Melisandre's gone. Then you go back to Winterfell and you see Sansa in the Godswood with Littlefinger.
Yeah, and he basically, everything we thought about Littlefinger is kind of clarified.
Ringing true.
In that scene, because he basically says, I want the Iron Throne.
But he's back in Winterfell. He's back where he was when Ned was alive. He's back to kind of thinking, I can take this for myself.
Yeah.
I can worm my way in there with her.
Yes.
And Sansa basically says, no, I don't want you.
No. But he basically lays out everything we knew about Littlefinger. You know, how he's never actually given anything away. Him and Varys were always the two at playing the game the best, because they kept the cards to the chest, and they went with, you thought this of Varys, I don't probably think this now, given that Varys is with Daenerys, and I think that was his plan the whole time. But Littlefinger, you never knew what his plan was, and now he's revealed it. He's decks out.
Yeah.
I want that Iron Throne, and I want you with me.
Yeah, because you kind of just thought he's doing this just to survive.
No, I think
originally, but now you think he's got a bigger plan than that.
He wants it, and I don't. It could have been Catelyn. It could have been Sansa. It could have been either one of them. I don't think it would have mattered to him.
Yeah,
a Stark, who he sees as the rightful heir of Winterfell.
Yeah.
Even though that doesn't pan out later on.
And obviously talking of Varys, you then, as you say, you see Lady Olenna in Dawn with Ilaria Sand and the three girls.
The three sand snakes.
Yeah, they're having a chat about what we're going to do now because Olenna knows that what's happened to Marjorie and the rest of the family.
Well, yeah. Olenna shuts up the three sand snakes, doesn't she? And she's like, what's your name?
Doesn't matter.
Don't care. Shut up. You shut up. And have you got anything to say? No, then you shut up. Let the women talk here. And she makes it very clear that she's not mourning. She's ready for revenge.
Yeah.
And Illyria of Sand, is Illyria of Sand or Illyria of Sand? No, because you wouldn't say Jon of Snow, would you? So yeah, Illyria of Sand says, I will give you what your heart desires. However, I have the answer, basically. I have the key to all of this because Cersei is reigning war on Dawn. The Tyrells, whatever's left of the Tyrells.
Well, there's her.
And she rings a little bell, and Varys comes shuffling.
In he comes.
He does poof a lot in this episode, doesn't he? Buggers like Flash. And he appears, and it's just what I think she says of like how, and he just goes with fire and blood.
Yeah.
And that's the Targaryen line, isn't it? It's their words. So that was, I was like, oh yes.
Well, there's the plan laid out for the next season.
Yes, because we said, can you remember earlier on, we were like, what's happening in Dawn? And they were like,
now we know.
And we were like, who the fuck cares? Now I fucking care.
Now you care.
Yeah, I care now because
Daenerys has got a lot of support.
Daenerys is completely done a 180 in my opinion. And I think it's because she's doing something. When she just sat there, like, sitting on her hands, trying to figure out what the hell to do for the best, she lost me.
She's done more in this season than she has in the previous 5.
I agree. I totally agree.
In one season?
In one season, she kind of, I think she just went, right, fuck it, let's do this.
Time did some work.
Let's do this. I'm ready.
And she's got Tyrion on side now with her. Obviously, she has that whole conversation where she has to send Dario Naharis away.
Yeah, that's
because he wants to marry her. He wants to be with her, and she's.
He does. No,
he loves her. He absolutely loves her.
He definitely loves her, and he kind of says, "I don't care which lord has to sit next to you," because she makes it very clear that if she rules the Seven Kingdoms, she's going to have to make alliances. And she's going to have to marry for them alliances. And he's like, well, I don't care who sits next to you as long as I'm in your bed. And she's like, it's not going to work like that over here. Like, it's completely different. Like, I could probably get away with it here, but not over there.
Yeah.
I need to play this. I need to play this straight. And she sends him away, and he kind of goes, did the little man put you up to this? And she's like, no, I did this.
But Tyrion feels genuinely bad about it.
Yeah, he does. And he says, like, it's when he finally goes, how did you take it? Because Tyrion's counselled it to do this. It's for the best. If anyone knows what love can do in Westeros, Tyrion is the one who's
the example of how it can all go badly wrong.
How it can go tits up, and how you don't need liabilities, because Shae was a massive one. He should never have taken her there, and he did, and look what happened. But he tells her, he says, oh, how did he take it? And she went, well, to be quite honest, he didn't cry. There was no tears. He took like a man. But I was quite impatient. I just wanted it over with. Like, I didn't feel anything.
I don't really feel anything about it.
And he's like, that's the ruler in you, isn't it? That's how it's going to have to be for a very long time. And then the most emotional bit happened.
She had a little badge made for him, and he's now Hand of the Queen.
And it's just his face, like, because the last time
he's chuffed, isn't he?
The last time Tyrion got Hand of the King, he did such a good job. Like,
because he's so good. He's good.
Yeah.
He would be a good ruler.
He would, but I don't think he would want it.
He wouldn't want to be, but he could rule sensibly.
Oh, without a doubt. And without a doubt. None of this...
Fairly as well.
Yes.
Very
fairly
fair.
Is a really good word when it comes to Tyrion, because remember Blackwater Bay? How he took on... Like, he knew that war was, like, pointless. But he had to defend it. Like, Stannis was going to come in and take the throne. And he got his men rallied, and they won because of him.
Yeah.
Because the Lannister army, under Joffrey's bloody... Right, guys, let's go. And Tyrion's like, no, we're going out there.
Well, yeah. But let's talk a bit more about Tyrion and Daenerys in a minute, because we'll get to the next bit, which is pretty good. In that you see Bronn and Jaime at Walder Frey's house.
Yeah.
And they're drinking wine, and looking at girls.
And got this girl's caught their eye, caught Jamie's eye, because he looks at her twice. Not in that way, but kind of
curiously.
Curiously. But yeah, Jamie's
not daft.
No, not at all. He knows he wants Cersei. But no, Bronn, he kind of sends Bronn away with 2 women, and Walder Frey comes over, and it's like, men like us, we're Kingslayers. We don't let these people, they can mock us, but we know for sure we're the true men in this. We win wars and blah blah blah. And Jamie's like, well, have you ever fought a war? You ever been in battle? And
Jamie thinks he's full of shit, basically, but he just humours him.
He does. He humours him to start with, and then he says, basically, what use are you to me if I have to keep coming back when people take things away from you? Because look how many times it's happened.
You're a liability.
You are. And he walks away.
Yeah.
Drops a mic and buggers off. And Walder Frey's just sat there like, I don't give 2 fucks. I don't. I'm Walder Frey.
Because he's so egotistical.
He is. He doesn't care. He really doesn't care. And we then
see the girl that
the girl again. Well, the girl comes in, and the Walder's in his chamber where the whole Red Wedding, which was really creepy, where the whole Red Wedding took place.
But by himself.
Yeah, by himself, and he's waiting for his 2 sons. And this woman, this lady that caught Jamie's eye walks in and says,
well, she has a pie, doesn't she? She brings the pie.
And he goes, oh, you're not one of mine. And she's like, no, I'm not.
He smacks her on the arse as well. Creepy.
And this girl, he goes, oh, where's my sons at? And she goes, well, they're here, sir. And he's like, well, where are they? And he goes, they're right here, sir. Mm-hmm. And then reveal.
Lifts the lid off the pie.
Oh, they're in the pie.
In Sans, we then see that the mask comes off.
It's Arya Stark.
Yeah. And she has killed the 2 sons.
And made them into mincemeat, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And basically says, my name is Arya Stark. Mm-hmm. And I want you to know this. Mm-hmm. And I want you to know that a Stark was smiling down on you the day you were killed.
Yeah.
But she slits his throat and she doesn't let him move.
She enjoys it.
Yeah. She gets off on it. And this made us think, is this part of our list? Is she going to start our list?
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's going to complete that list. In the books, that list is so important to her character. She recites it like day and night. Mm-hmm. It's what she lives for. It's what's motivated her the whole way.
It's going to be interesting how it happens now. But she, as that maiden, must have heard through the grapevine the Starks have got Winterfell.
She's going to...
Is she going to go back? Is she going to go back to the Starks?
I strongly suspect she'll be reunited with Jon and Sansa.
No, I hope so. But then that's one more. Bran can make his way there because he's not that far away. Mm-hmm. If he's near Wayward Trees, he's not too far away. Could Bran make it? Could all Starks and remaining Starks be back in Winterfell
by the end of season 7?
That would be interesting. So Arya's assassin training of what she had has come in handy. Mm-hmm. Bronn and Jaime then head back to Westeros. I've actually started pronouncing it right, Westeros.
And they see
the green smoke.
And Jaime basically thinks, oh, what the hell's gone on now?
I think Jaime thinks, fuck, she's used it.
Yeah.
Because Jaime knows it's there. Mm-hmm. Jaime was the one who stopped the Mad King from using it in the first place when he told his pyromaster, burn them. Mm-hmm. Burn them all, and he knows. So seeing that green smoke must have just rang alarm bells and went either one, Cersei was in there and she had nothing to do with it and she's dead, or Cersei's done this.
You don't see a reaction from him like, oh God, the love of my life has just died. It's like, what's she done now?
Yeah.
It's like he knows. He
looks at Bran and it's like, what the fuck?
Like, she's not dead.
No.
Something's gone on here.
And then
you see the coronation. But then we've chatted about that. But the last closing scene,
Mad King Cersei.
Yeah.
The Mad Queen. The Mad Queen reigns.
Yeah.
And Jaime stands at eye shot, and the look they give each other is, well, she gives the no fucks look.
Yeah.
And he just, I've taken someone down like you before, pet. I'll do it again. That's the look I got.
Yeah.
So the last scene is Daenerys
and Tyrion
with
the Greyjoys on their boats
with the Flash Varys
and with the Dothraki.
How did he get there?
Making their way across the sea to Westeros.
That may have been the last scene, but we've missed out Samwell Tarly.
Oh man!
Sam goes to a library.
too much about Samuel. All that we already need to know is that Sam goes to the library and thinks it's amazing.
Yes, but that last scene was pretty. It was pretty goosebumps because she's finally on the boat.
She's finally pulled her finger out and she's doing something.
Yeah, she's going, which is something we've been dying to see since she landed in Marine.
Yeah.
And she's done it. She's doing it. She's got her dragon. She's got her ships. She's got her council, and they're all standing there. It was what a beautiful way to end such a beautiful series, because this really has reignited that love that I had for this series.
Yeah.
And I started to lose it come season 4, season 5. But now I'm back in it.
You're on board again.
I'm so on board with it. I am devastated that it's a Monday night and we didn't have a new episode to watch.
Sorry, I could only play the one that happened.
It's like it's your fault.
It's my fault.
So that is...
I could act out if you want what I think will happen in
I've seen your impressions. I don't think I'll be able to handle it.
Sam knows my impressions.
She's really good.
Leave that for maybe another time.
Maybe another episode. But that was season 6. That was episode 9 and 10.
Yes. And next, a week come this weekend, Sam and I will be in London at Star Wars Celebration Europe.
Yep.
So we're going to do something from London.
I've got an idea, and I'll only know it'll work when we get there, so I'll only announce it and I'll tell you about it later, because obviously I have an idea, but I don't know if it's going to work, so I'll tell you about it and we'll see if it does work.
But obviously we will document our trip on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. So.
There's
going to be some cool stuff.
Well, yeah, we'll do... if we haven't got because you've got to bear in mind, it's going to be a long day. So if we don't do anything on the Saturday, we'll clearly do something when we come back.
Bear with us, because we've got a lot going on that weekend.
And it's my birthday, so screw you.
Screw you all. She do what she wants.
I know, exactly. Yeah. My birthday, and I'll cry if I want to. So that's Game of Thrones over with. Mm-hmm. Now, do you want to do a whole recap? Do you want to talk about the whole TV series?
Well, let's just say what we think quickly about. I think this was the best season so far. Like I said at the start, I think it's the best season so far. What's to come next?
Don't know.
Well, Daenerys is going to arrive in Westeros with her dragons.
Or is she?
I think she is.
I think she is. I was saying to Carolyn earlier that yes, I love this. It was a beautiful series. It's got me back on board with Game of Thrones, but I felt something for book readers, because I'm appreciating books more than what I probably did previously. That what is this series taken away from them readers because Winds of Winter's not out? And I know George R. R. Martin, he could have had this out beforehand.
He's lazy,
but. What's it taken? All these little shocks. I mean, God, what's happened in this series? We found out that Jon...
His book sales will have gone down when it does come out.
I doubt it. He's got such a following.
But there's those people who just don't want to read a book. They're just going to watch it. It's I've seen the movie, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's one of those
I've learned my lesson over the years that movies are... I probably thought like that.
Very few movies will be better than the book.
Yeah. My mum actually got me, because I think because my mum's a massive, huge reader, and it was when she read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and then she read the books, and then she watched the films, and just listening to her, how passionate she was, about the films because of the books, and it was, it was brilliant.
Because it's your imagination being lit up.
Yeah.
By the power of word.
It is, and you
can't put that on a screen. It doesn't matter who you are.
No, you're right.
Even Steven Spielberg can't do that.
You are absolutely right. I've been listening to a lot of writing, because I'm trying to find my craft within writing. I don't know if I'm a good enough reviewer to continue on with it. I don't even know if I want to continue on with it. I don't particularly like doing it. I don't like being so critical of somebody when they've put so much hard work into it. I'm finding that difficult. I don't know if I'm good enough to do creative writing.
You are.
I don't know how good I am. I love writing articles, and I like doing bio articles. But I've been listening to other writers and listening to a lot of their interviews. And George R. R. Martin, he was completely fucked me pointing up now. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I was listening to his interviews, and he was saying just talking about his process, and totally forgot what I was going to say. Like, I got so into it there. Like, I was like...
Well, are you trying to say that you don't feel that you've got that mindset?
I don't know, like,
somebody like him?
How he's done it, like, he had these files upon files, and like, each file was a house.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just... I would love to feel like I could do something like that, but I want to listen to other people's...
He's created his own history.
Yeah.
It's a British history, because
a lot of War of the Roses.
We can talk about that when we do our next type of Game of Thrones podcast, which probably won't be the very next one that we do.
No,
it
won't be.
After that. Maybe a few after that.
Yeah. What we're doing is, we're doing like a kind of documentary style. So it's not gonna be as freely talked like we've done now. A lot of it is gonna be scripted. However, so the first part's probably gonna be scripted because it's gonna be giving you the history, and we need to be fucking sure. The second part is just a free for all talk.
Yeah.
And I want to do it in houses. So we say we start with House Stark.
Yeah.
And we start with their history.
Yeah.
And then we talk about not so much the book history, but the TV history.
Yeah.
And the difference from, like, kind of reflecting. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. Never wrote like that before, so that's going to be that's going to be interesting. This series is just, it blew me expectations. It really did. Like, I can't bang on about it enough. Really can't.
Well, let's not.
Let's finish.
Let's leave it there until next time.
Yeah. What I think we'll do is and I mentioned this when I did my talk one yesterday. We're going to put some more structure into this.
Yeah.
And times where it'll be... So, right. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'll have nerdfeed.com. I'll have all the descriptions down below. Please like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get on Nerdfeed. Check out the amazing articles of all the amazing writers from there. That's it. That's it. We're done. We have done
a long one today.
We've done a long one. So, right. Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah. We'll see you next time at Star Wars Celebration.
Woohoo! Bye.